Hey, what's up? Phil here. And today I'm sharing a conversation that I had with a buddy of mine, Jack Wilson, who runs trainerjack.com and the Optimized You program. Today we talked about using Instagram to market our own content, our digital products, our services, whatever we have a website for. Enjoy this conversation. Jack gives some really great tips and advice for creating an Instagram of your own for your brand and rapidly growing it. So thanks so much for watching and enjoy. Hey everyone, Phil Ebiner here with Jack Wilson, and today we're going to be talking about Instagram marketing. Both of us are content creators. We have online courses and we are working on some other projects with digital products, websites, social media. And he has created a very strong Instagram strategy. And it's something that I haven't been doing ever really. I've never used Instagram for marketing my own business or brand. And I'm excited to ask him some questions. So, Jack, thanks for being here.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for wanting to jump on and talk about this.
Yeah, definitely. So, first off, can you just kind of talk to us about what you are doing, as much as you can tell us, for this new Instagram account that you have? And I know you hooked up with a lady who's your business partner for this project, and what her background
Mhm.
is.
Sure, yeah. So one of my close friends from college, she has been working in search engine optimization and social media marketing for the last 2 or 3 years, I want to say, for various different companies. And she's worked a lot with Google Analytics, and she's done a lot of marketing on Facebook and Instagram and writing a lot of blog posts too. So she's got a really strong copywriting and content creating background, and she's recently gotten really into fitness. Like in the last 2 or 3 years, I think she's run six half marathons and two full marathons. So she's gotten really into that college since we've been there together. But it's also been really amazing too, because she kind of, I don't want to say burn herself out on running because she loves running, but she went from training like 8+ hours a week just running, and she was eating and netting approximately like 1,300 calories, to she started lifting weights, I guess, about 8 weeks ago, and started eating 1,000 more calories every day, which is significant. I mean, so basically almost doubled amount composition, which we've posted on our Instagram, and you can see it. Like Kaylee went from the typical like skinny fat runner body, which I used to have one of those because I didn't lift weights, to now that she's lifting 4 to 6 days a week, and she's cut her running time to about an hour. She's just like gotten compact and super muscular. And the progress photos that we have on our Instagram account is, I mean, this is no joke. No Photoshop was used or anything. Like, we posted a photo for 4 weeks after she started lifting weights and started eating more food. She's still the same weight. She's still the same waist size, and she just looks like more toned and compact. So when she kind of got these results, I was like, Kaylee, we need to work together on something, because you love fitness, your background's in marketing, pretty much the same as mine. Like, all my background was in marketing. And then, I've always loved fitness. And I used to be really overweight, and this completely changed my life. So we started brainstorming this idea, and I had listened to a couple of podcasts, and Instagram has been something that's been around for a while. And Facebook, recently, bought them out or purchased them. And now it's like Instagram sort of hitting the stride of like, now it's becoming one of the platforms to market yourself on. And luckily for us, Kaylee had a ton of background in Instagram marketing, and I had been doing a ton of research and had become fascinated with the simplicity of this platform, because it's just a picture, a quick video, and it's one piece of content per day to your audience. And it's really easy to connect over, you know, simple. Health and fitness is a huge place for that, because you see all these people posting like paleo recipes and workout tutorials and exercise tutorials and workouts themselves. And like, I posted a picture of like a green smoothie that I was making the other day, or like cooking Brussels sprouts with bacon grease, and people seem to love that. So I think that we really wanted to keep this as simple as possible and be like, okay, this is the product that we want to bring people, and this is the platform that we want to use to do it.
Nice. Well, that sounds really epic. And for people who are watching this, Jack inspired me to work on a similar project of my own and use Instagram to market it. By the time you're watching this, it's probably going to be out. So it's called meditationtribe.com. And I, for a long time, have worried about where should I be, what platform should I use, and I spread myself too thin. And so I like this idea of using Instagram to, focus on that. And we got inspired by another couple gals who run simplegreensmoothies.com and are doing literally millions in sales from Instagram marketing and email sequences. And so that inspired us. And so I'm brand new to this though, and Jack is partnered with Kaylee, who knows a lot about Instagram, who has helped grow brands with Instagram. So Jack, can you tell me, for someone who's completely new, what's the strategy that I should use to basically just launch an Instagram, get followers, and then eventually start to pitch or promote a product or service?
It's really funny, like, and getting Kaylee's perspective on this, because I've been using the same principles to grow my own personal account. And she's grown people from hundreds of people to thousands of people, and thousands to 10,000s, and even thousands to hundreds of thousands, and like creating awareness on Instagram. And I think if I was telling you when you started, I think you really need to focus on like what the personality is that you want to convey. And then even more importantly, like what are the kinds of pictures or videos that you want to put on there. So like I'll test different videos. Like I've been testing like what people latch on to, the exercise tutorials, and how many people will do that versus like how many people like food pictures, because food pictures are really popular. They're really easy to like, and they're really easy to comment on too. So I've been kind of testing those back and forth. Another thing, people love like inspirational and motivational quotes. And I think those are so awesome and so powerful because, if you're down, if you're having a bad day, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm way too exhausted, I don't want to go to the gym, like somebody could be flipping through their feed and check out your Instagram and see that post that says, hey, just get in there and go do your best, because even 10 minutes is better than nothing. And they might do that because of it. So I think you really need to hone in on what content you want to bring to Instagram. Like, are you going to be very video based? You're going to be very picture based? And then what are the things that you're going to take pictures and video of? And once you've like dialed into that, I would go people, and what they're doing is a great way to get ideas for your own content. And it's hard to create an original piece of content nowadays just because there's so much out there. So we seek inspiration from others. And I mean, this can be in music, this can be in graphic design, this can be in, taking a picture for Instagram. And one piece of advice that Kaylee really gave me, if you're anybody who's huge into visual stuff, like Phil, I know that you're super into video editing and photo editing, is that if you just get yourself a piece of like white, what is it? It's like just plain white. That the presentation board that you can use, basically, just plain white poster board, and you can set that down, and you can set all the components or items that you're using for it. So like you could set like a camera and a lens and a bag or whatever, and take a picture of it, and just be like, hey, I'm going on a shoot today and then tag the people who you're working with. Or like for us, like she posted a picture the other day of this cookie jar full of protein cookies from this company called Lenny and Larry's. And keep in mind, like we just started this Instagram account 2 or 3 weeks ago, content on, but she posted this really cool picture of Lenny and Larry's, and it had the poster board background on it. And Lenny and Larry's, that has 82 or 83,000 followers on Instagram, actually reposted our photo and tagged us. So another thing that you want to think about, that this is kind of branching on how you want to create content, is I would think of the brands that you want to associate yourself with, and think about building those relationships, because that you might think that's really far off in the future of being able to associate yourself with brands, or like give them stuff that you can use in like giveaways on Instagram or your website. But Kaylee's actually told me and enlightened me too. She said that she's seen people with 3,000, 5,000, and 10,000 followers on Instagram getting like endorsed by these people or sponsored by these companies. And it's just because they have like good, solid followings and high engagement rates. So when a company sees that, they think, oh, of course I'll give this person like 25, $50, $100 in free products or a gift card or something, because they're exposing our brand to, a few thousand people, which is well worth it for them versus like a TV ad or a billboard or something like that. So
Right. Oh man, this is all really good stuff. And so I got a bunch more questions, but
sure.
I'm looking at your Instagram account right now for Optimize You, and I see the quotes, and it looks like you're posting a quote every third time. It sounds like you post a quote and then a couple photos and then a quote. Is that a conscious decision so that when people are looking down your Instagram feed, it's clean and you see this nice row of quotes?
It absolutely is. We were actually just talking about recently how people have taken like big pictures and blocked them out and like posted each component over a period of time, and they basically make a collage and put like a bigger picture together. And Kaylee was telling me how those are okay, but when you're doing those independent distracting, and if you don't have like a quote or something to engage it on, and it's just like a random shot of somebody's foot with some like sand or a boardwalk below it, it's a lot easier to just create, like you were looking at on here, that straight line of
Hmm.
our plain wall with a quote on there. So yeah, that's definitely something we're doing, is every third post we're making kind of an inspirational or motivational quote for people.
Got it. So another question for me is do you think there's any pro or con in just using stock photos or creating my own like stock photo combos with text? Because that's kind of my idea for this meditation tribe, that I'm gonna just find a bunch of free stock images or pay for
Mhm.
them. But I know pixabay.com is a great site with free images, and then just add some cool text or quote to it. A quote to it. Do you think that is a good strategy, or should it be more personal, or I don't know? Just because I know
I
it'll
think
look better if I'm using other people's stock photos, and I'll have more content to work with.
if you look at some of the really successful accounts on, motivation, inspiration, and I mean, it can be beyond that. It can be pretty much, actually, Jeremy Deegan to me. There's this great app, and I'm not sure if it's on Android or not. I know it's on Apple. It's called WordSwag, and they actually draw from Pixabay. And what they'll let you do is they'll let you add these really cool, like custom text they have over their stock photos, and then they'll let you use the photos that you've taken too on your phone.
Mm,
So I think that's a perfectly fine solution for doing stuff. But I think too, like, and I mean, this is for my brand personally, like it doesn't have to be for everybody's. I like using a good combination of like good looking stock photos with unique text over them for like motivational, inspirational stuff, or even informational things with personal stuff. Cause I think having your face on camera or having some FaceTime on camera, and whether it's industry related or maybe it's completely personal, like it could be me out, hey, like you like to post a lot of pictures of you on hikes with friends. And I guess that's semi fitness related, but it's really cool for those people to get to know you personally and beyond what you're selling and what you're creating too. Because I feel like nowadays a lot of people do buy something because they feel like they've gotten to know a person, they know their personality. So I think a good balance of both is good.
yeah, and that brings up a really good question for me, whether and I think I should add personality to Meditation Tribe, because right now I've created this website where it's just completely not personal at all to me, and I consciously did that because I don't know, I just didn't want someone to log on to Meditation Tribe and be like, "Oh, this is just some guy, like some random dude." And so for me it was like this balance of like, "Oh, should I make it look super professional without like it seeming like a some home blogger?" But I think there's other ways I can make it personal too. And one way I want to, and I think you're going to do it too once you start getting followers in your program, is like having the people who are doing your training or having the people who are using Meditation Tribe post or send me photos of themselves meditating or things like that, and I can
Sure.
use those as kind of like testimonials but also post them to the Instagram channel. I think that would be sweet.
Absolutely, man. Because if you create your own unique hashtag for, you said it's meditation tribe is what you're going for.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if meditation tribe's not taken as a hashtag, that'd be a great thing to like once you put your product out there with those 5 meditations, you can just say to people, hey, anytime you're done meditating, make sure you get your meditation in first, but take a fun picture of you, post meditation, super relaxed or whatever,
Yeah.
and then post it with the hashtag so you can let everybody know that, you knocked out your meditation for the day.
Nice. Oh yeah, I love that. I
It's a
love
great
that.
idea. I mean, and if you look at the girls from Simple Green Smoothies, they do the same thing, and they get I think they're up to like hundreds of thousands of pictures that people have posted who have been a part of their Simple Green Smoothie
Nice. Yeah, no, that's
program.
killer. I love that. So one thing I noticed with you guys, and I think you mentioned it to me as a strategy, but I noticed that you're following a lot of people right
Mhm.
now, and you just started Optimize You Instagram like a few weeks ago. You already have
Mhm.
280 followers, which is like epic. I mean, I don't know how on any other platform you could grow that fast.
Sure.
And is what's your strategy in terms of who are you following and why are you following other people to
So this is
yeah, yeah.
so this is something that like that was well because it looks like a lot when you're following that many people. So what our strategy is for Optimize You, and this is the same for my personal Instagram too, is that I will find content creators or Instagram accounts that are really similar to what I like, what I train, what I believe, what I eat. And I'll go through and take a look at their followers and the kind of content they're posting. And I will click through and manually just follow a lot of their followers. And you can do, I think, still on Instagram, 100 people at a time before it'll stop you, like 100 people in an hour, I think is what it's at. So I'll follow like a few hundred people a day on Instagram, and Kaylee will follow a few hundred people a day. And we're taking it kind of slow until we get to 1,000, just because it does look out of balance to a lot of people. Like if you're being upfront and honest, it's like, geez, why are these new people Optimize You? They've got like 286 followers and they're following 1,200 people. So we're kind of taking it slow until we get to that 1,000 people threshold. But what we'll do and kind of the process behind this is, so I'll go follow 100 people, and then I'll check on the follow backs over the next hour or two. And then all of the people who follow me back, I'll go into their account, I'll check it out. I'll like their first like 5 to 10 photos is what I'll usually do. The first 5 to 10 photos that it's usually food or exercise related. Like recently I've been following 2 different like large paleo accounts on there because that's really similar to my eating style. And I'll just start the conversation with them. So I'll find the photo that I like the most and I'll post, and I'll just be like, hey, and then tag the person, whoever posted. And I'll say, this looks delicious. And you posted the recipe here. Like, what else would you recommend if I wanted to have this for, wanted to use this as like, a friendly, lunch entree or something and like serve to my friends. Do you have any recommendations? So then you've already taken time out of your schedule. And I mean, yeah, this is pretty time consuming, but I think it's well worth it. So I've taken the time to like giving them praise, and then also taking the time to start the conversation with them over a commonality. Or, if I see them doing an exercise that I really like, I'll be like, hey man, I really love that, that overhead kettlebell swing that you were doing, or that clean and press. What other ones do you like to throw into your kettlebell circuit so I can test them out with mine or something like that? And I think that kicks off the relation, because you have to view social media as like you're building genuine relationships with people over similar interests. It's just like real life. If you pay praise to them and let them know they're really good at something, or they created something really awesome, and then you ask them a question, any person is going to be, especially if you're in a conversation, say you're at a party or a bar or whatever, and you ask them like, hey, what would you recommend for me? Or like, hey, what did you use in this recipe? I saw this gorgeous picture that you posted. They're going to love that, and they're going to feel great about themselves. So that kicks off this whole new relationship on a really cool, positive note over something you both really enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, no, that all makes sense. So basically following people to build that relationship, hoping that they'll follow you.
Mhm.
And then if they're following you, if they're liking your photos, other people are going to see that, and it's just going to blow up from there.
Sure.
Um, Great. So are there any other strategies in terms of the text that you're posting with your photos to get people to subscribe to your or to follow your Instagram channel?
So one of the biggest things that I've seen in Instagram marketing that I think is so smart. I mean, one thing that's become popular now is that people's Instagram bios, they won't even be really a bio. They'll just kind of bullet out like they might write a short sentence of like, I love fitness, I used to be overweight. And then like immediately below that, they'll just bullet out Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else they are, they'll kind of like put their handle or like put their link in. But the thing about the bio is that it's not like you can't directly click on that link and it'll take you somewhere. So people can see your handle and they can go to that second step to look you up. But the one important thing is the link that you get, because you only get to place like one link in your Instagram profile. So like right now for mine personally on Trainer Jack, and this is going to be the same thing we're doing on Optimize You. Like I've promoted like new blog posts on there. So any new follower I get, they can see, hey, brand new blog post about, fat loss or 8 leg exercises that you need to be doing or whatever. And what we're going to be doing with Optimize You is once we actually get our membership site put together and we get all the components put in that, we've already got our email autoresponder set up. We're going to use a free weight loss course to like get people into and kind of keep building a relationship even more with them. So what we'll do is in the Optimize You bio weight loss course, which is a really high quality course. We shot it on my friend's DSLR camera, and he had a nice like $1,500 lav mic, which is way like out of my production price range at this point. But he was like, hey man, I don't mind helping you shoot this. And I was like, okay, great. So we have this high quality course that we're gonna have them click through on our bio. And then once they sign up for free, that'll put them into like a 5 or 6 email sequence, which you and I have talked about. And then eventually like get them to the product. It's like, hey, if you've seen good results with this course so far, we'd love for you to try this new membership accountability group that we have. So you really want to be strategic with your profile. Let me see, and I can pull up.
Yeah, that's great. And what about like the text that you post with your photos? Are you ultimately going to be posting links in the individual posts, or is it really just in your bio?
I mean, I don't know how the platform's going to change, because at this point in your caption, you can tag people, like you can tag other, handles on Instagram, but you can't post like a live link. So for instance, anytime I post a new blog post to my blog, when I go post about it on Instagram, I'll post my blog graphic, and then I'll just have to say, hey, check out my new post on trainerjack.com. And that link won't be clickable, but at least they'll be able to either click the link in my bio, or that's something really simple for them to plug in their web browser. And then that blog post is going to be the first thing that pops up. So.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. And what about tags? What's your strategy with tags? Hashtags.
With hashtags?
Yeah.
So something cool that I really learned from this article that I read on Founder, and this is a company that built, I mean, now they've made it like a free downloadable e-product, lead generator, lead magnet, whatever you want to call it, of how they got like 10,000 people to follow their account. I think so it was like 14 or 15 days. Things that they did, because hashtags are so important for being discoverable, or like starting a trend like you're talking about doing with Meditation Tribe. And that's what we really want to do with Optimize You and building its own unique hashtag too. But there are so many popular, I'm sure there's a ton of popular meditation hashtags that you can use. There's a ton of popular fitness hashtags. So I'll just pick and I mean, I've done a ton of hashtags in the past. I think I've used like 30 to 40 hashtags on a photo, which I think now is like pretty excessive. Now I'm trying to dial it into the 5 to 10 most relevant hashtags. But so I don't make my caption on my photo or on my video so crowded tags, I might include one hashtag in there, but I'll actually be the first comment on my photo, because then the hashtags won't show up in the feed, but it will make it discoverable. So I'll have a picture of what I ate for breakfast, and then I'll describe what's in my breakfast and how I made it or whatever, and say what it's good for. It's really high in protein and high in healthy fats to get your day started right. So then I'll post the photo and immediately post a comment of like hashtag paleo lover, hashtag eat paleo, or like the 5 most commonly used. And then that makes it discoverable, and it also makes your picture not look as cluttered.
Yeah. Okay. So that's super smart. Like the hashtags in the comments, unless there's like something that's super specific that you want to just post in the caption of your photo. Okay, that's awesome. Great. These are like all great information. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had a question about. I mean, this is really, really good. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else you would say, or that Kaylee has talked to you about, that is important for someone that is brand new to Instagram?
I think you just kind of need to figure out your schedule and how you want to do this. And I think it's like building any habit or integrating anything into your schedule. Like right now, I'm trying to use Duolingo to teach myself Spanish. So it's blocking out a certain time every day. And apparently your retention for certain languages are best right before bed. So you can kind of sleep on it and, have that churn around in here during your sleep cycle. So it's like building that 5 to 10 minutes in before bed of like learning Spanish. Where with Instagram, it's like anytime that I find myself, stopping in the middle of something, or if I accomplish like one of, my most important tasks for the day, like after I do that, I'll go ahead and like follow 100 people or go see the people who most recently followed me and go like their photos and comment. And yeah, it is time consuming. Like I've probably been spending, I don't know, just depending on the day, like at least 20 minutes, and I would say at most like an hour on Instagram. But it's also the one platform that I'm really concentrating on right now. And I really believe that the return on the time that I'm inputting in that is going to be really big later. And the great thing about social media nowadays is I'm using that Instagram post to push to my Tumblr, my Facebook, and my Twitter. So it's like I hit those platforms. And then when I get a new blog post, I can just add that to my Tumblr and I add that to Pinterest. So it's great to be in a world of multi-purposing. I mean, doesn't that make our lives so much easier?
Yeah, no, totally. And that's something that I guess I didn't really think about, but it's probably important to just start a Twitter account and a Facebook group or page for Meditation Tribe, and just have, even if I'm not focusing so much on putting content there, but just have it automatically going from Instagram.
Sure. Because then that'll just make you discoverable on another platform. And, if for whatever reason people who want to be involved in Meditation Tribe aren't heavy Instagram users, you can still reach them on Facebook. And Facebook's got a really similar, I would say, like posting schedule. Twitter is a really high volume, high producing platform. But Instagram and Facebook, it's really easy just to put your best piece of content for the day on there, 6 or 7 days a week or however you want to do it. So I really like that linkage. And I've always really liked Tumblr too. Like that's where I launched my blog, and I've still got like between 1,500 and 2,000 followers on there. So I still want to like keep giving them information and like link back to my posts and stuff. The only other thing I can think of as far as like Instagram strategy is that I believe there is a limit on the number of people that you can follow, and you don't want to be over inundated with, information and pictures all the time. So Kaylee and, everybody else who I've talked to in Instagram marketing has said that you need to get to a point where you like trim the fat. So basically like during the whole month, I'll just follow people. I'll engage with people. I'll comment and post with them. I'll build that relationship. And then at the end of the month, the accounts that have either not followed me back that I'm still following, or maybe I followed and they haven't had basically any activity on there, they're pretty inactive users, I'll go and I'll start to unfollow those people bit by bit. And I'll usually take the entire, first week of the following month. I only want to get the most dedicated people and the most genuine relationships over, Optimize You or over Trainer Jack.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I was wondering about that too, if it's makes sense to follow a bunch of people to see if they follow back, and then to just like say goodbye if they're not following up. So that's good to know too.
Sure. And I think if you wait longer too, like the reason that Kaylee told me this, as opposed to like following a ton of people, and in the same week, like trimming and going back and forth and back and forth, I think it's a lot easier just to keep in the mindset of like following and building. And then at the end of it, like after 4 weeks, saying, okay, these are the things that, didn't bring anything back. So I'm going to get rid of this. And what she's found is that the retention rate for followers, like the people who have stuck with you for a week or have stuck with you for the month, like the drop rate after you start like cutting the people who haven't been that involved, like most people just keep you in their feed anyway. So you get to retain a lot of those followers. And I was like, oh, that's kind of brilliant. And it makes sense if you follow them, but you cut them out fast, they're going to be like, I know what this person's up to. But, if you stick with people for a month, I think you're going to get higher engagement, and then you're going to find out the people who want to be a part of what you're doing. So.
Right. Oh, so good. So good. Well, this has really been helpful for me and for anyone that's watching this, wherever we post it. And we're going to have to follow up and see where both of our channels are. You can check out Jack and Kaylee's Instagram at OptimizeU with the letter U, OptimizeU. And Jack's Instagram is TrainerJack at TrainerJack. And then for me, my new project, which will hopefully be live by the time this is posted, is Meditation Tribe. And so that's where you can get your 5-day daily meditation challenge. And it's basically meditation for entrepreneurs to help you focus more and be more productive. So follow all of us on Instagram. And Jack, just thanks so much. I'm going to stop the broadcast and we'll chat later.
Thanks, Phil. Good talking to you, man.